everyone. Warm greetings to our guest speaker, Mr. Anil Prakash, sir, faculty members, and to our students. Our respected director, sir, Mr. Ravikant Swami, sir, due to some work, urgency of work, is not able to join the meeting, but he has conveyed warm greetings to you, sir. I, Anuja Saklani, BLLB fourth year student, mentor to NSS, welcome you all in today's event on Earth Day. Delhi Metropolitan Education is a premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, New Delhi, and approved by Bar Council of India. DME is successfully providing an unparalleled education experience that is technically, socially, and personally transformative. DME provides both cultural as well as social platforms leading to the overall development of the students. In DME, we are having the NSS cell, which has been organizing events for social service like National Safety Day, World Heritage Day, various quiz competitions, and today on World Earth Day, we are having an interactive session to learn waste management tricks. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, we all are unable to go out, but we can learn these waste management practices and can implement it in our homes and thus contribute to the society itself. National Service Scheme is an Indian-sponsored flagship for the public service programs, which is conducted by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports of Government of India. It was launched in 1969. And the motto says it all, not me, but you. And I can totally relate to one of the famous dialogues in the film, Razi, Vatan ke aage kuch nahi, khud bhi nahi. Today, on 22nd of April, we all have assembled virtually to learn waste management and save Mother Earth. On this occasion, we are extremely delighted to have our guest speaker, Mr. Anil Prakash, sir, Policy Advisor at National Institute of Urban Affairs. I extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. पृथ्वी और प्रकृति एक दूसरे से अलग नहीं है. जिस प्रकृति पर मानव वर्षों से अत्याचार करता आया है, वही प्रकृति अगर विद्रोह करने लगे तो मानव जाति को विनाश की ओर ले जा सकती है. और इसी बात पर मुझे अपनी मां द्वारा रचित एक कविता की कुछ पंक्तियां याद आ रही हैं जो मैं आप सभी के सामने शेयर करना चाहूंगी. कहीं बाढ़ से त्रासदी तो कहीं पड़ा सूखा विकराल, कहीं बादल फट रहे तो कहीं भूस्खलन बना जंजाल, कहीं भूकंप से हिली धरा, कहीं सुनामी का कहर पड़ा, कहीं वनाग्नि चरम हुई, नित नित वसुधा गरम हुई. मानव समाज पर यह आपदा अब रौद्र रूप में आई है. प्रकृति के विद्रोह से अब मानवता थर्राई है. क्यों होता ये बारंबार? क्या हमने सोचा एक बार? प्रकृति का शोषण बंद करें, ऐसा कोई प्रबंध करें. प्रकृति को मित्र बनाना होगा, पर्यावरण बचाना होगा. वन संपदा और जल संपदा को अब कुप्रबंधन से बचाना होगा. Now, on today, as we know that we are celebrating the Earth Day 2021 and it is marking its 51st anniversary today. This year, the theme is Restore Our Earth. It is a day to become a little more responsible and aware towards our environmental issues. And on the ground reality, the only way to save our Mother Earth is to learn waste management tricks. I'm sure that each one of us have learned those 3 R's during our school days. Yes, those 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. These 3 R's helps us to a great extent in waste management. कुदरत का दिया हुआ ये अनमोल उपहार है. कुदरत का दिया हुआ ये अनमोल उपहार है. प्रकृति की खूबसूरती से सजा ये सारा संसार है. Now, I would like to request our guest speaker, Mr. Anil Prakash Sir, to kindly enlighten us about waste management tricks that can be adopted in our own houses during these COVID times, and how we can implement these tricks and spread awareness about it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Can I start?
Sure, sir.
And such a lovely, with such energy, passion, I can see that, today's session is set for the discussion. I have been waiting for last almost 2 weeks. And I must thank Dr. Ravikant, Mr. Ravikant, the director, and Dr. Smita ma'am. And of course, the beautiful introduction to you, ma'am, for giving me such a beautiful introduction. My name is Anil Prakash. I am really thankful that I'm part of this discussion because I am told that I'll be interacting with the students who are, pursuing the law. At the same time, they are part of NSS, right? And my career is somewhat, I think, I have total 31 years experience, and till 17 years I was part of corporate. In 2007, I came across with an opportunity where I was given the role in Clinton Foundation to work in HIV/AIDS. Till that time, I didn't have any idea about what is actually HIV. Yes, I heard about HIV, the disease, but what was the reason, what kind of people are there? I could see people among us were infected, but yes, from 2007, I shifted my course, and now I am part of social sector only from in last 13 years. That not only helped me to manage bigger projects, but I could also, understand the issues around the policies, around the challenges we face, maybe in health, in any issues that we come across with. We are going to discuss solid waste management, and you must be aware that people have started waste management is like wealth management. Why we are calling it wealth management? Because the solution is very much lies with us only. We will discuss that in later. But let me introduce why I am here, what is my background, why I'm talking about waste management. I'm part of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which is also running the mission called Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. I have added the word urban because in India, if you talk about the Swachh Bharat Mission, they are Swachh Bharat Mission Urban and Swachh Bharat Mission Rural. Both programs run by two different ministries. I am part of Swachh Bharat Mission Urban, which is run by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which takes care of 4,372 cities. So if I will discuss anything today about the waste management, what I have learned today is all I have learned in 4,372 cities sitting in the ministry. Before I start talking about the management part, let me give you a brief, introduction about how Swachh Bharat Mission has managed the program in last 5 years and what we have achieved in last 5 to 6 years. When Swachh Bharat Mission Urban was announced on 2nd October 2014, till that time, urban was not as focused as rural part, because in rural there were missions like different missions were there where sanitation issues were catered. But in urban, no one was aware about open defecation free status. No one was aware about the access to sanitation, because we were all managing by ourselves. But when Swachh Bharat Mission Urban was announced with core two objectives, first objective was that we must achieve the status of open defecation free, that all the cities of India are open defecation free. Second point was that all the cities in India must be managing their waste in scientifically. Till that time, what was happening, barring few cities, all cities were dumping their waste out in the outskirts of their cities, but not any longer. But why? What has happened in last 5-6 years? Let me tell you what we have achieved in last 5-6 years. Like if I can tell you today, we have about, if I'm saying 85,000 wards in India, where we stay, roughly 97% wards are covered with door-to-door collection of the waste. I remember earlier days, there used to be one, secondary storage outside the colony, where in the evening our parents will go and dump the waste. There was not a system of someone will collect the waste. If at all there was any, there's some private operators working. They will again go to and dump that waste in the same, secondary storage. We call it. We used to call that dhalao. Then, in terms of if I am generating waste, what will happen to the waste? I will definitely share with you the entire value chain of the waste. But generally, what happens if waste is collected from my house, my responsibility is over as citizens, and I'm happy that my waste is collected by someone. But where that waste is going, we are not bothered because it's the responsibility of the ULB, right? If my ULB or municipal corporation has the processing capacity, they will process it. If they don't, they will dump somewhere outside the skirt of the city. Then we can see, if you're part of the Delhi, you can see there like Gazipur, like situation, where now we have started remediating that land. From that stage, now today we have started processing about how much? We are processing 68% of the waste from zero. Maybe barring few cities, they were helping in last 5-6 years. We have 79% wards in the cities from where we have started collecting segregated waste. And this is the key for the waste management, segregation. Sometime, remember, in the ministry when we launched the segregation that all cities must go for collection of segregated waste, there was so much, rejection or questions from the cities. It's very difficult. People will not support us. People even not able to give us our normal waste. They are dumping nearby. How they will segregate? How can we expect citizens to segregate the waste and then give it to waste? From that stage to today, where 79% of the wards in the country have started giving the segregated waste. But why segregation is important? Now let me share with you the value chain, how our garbage, our waste, what is the journey of the waste. When it's collected from my house or your house, if my city's size of my city is smaller, then it will directly go to the processing site where the plant is. If I have the plant, if I don't have the plant, it will go to the landfill or scientific landfill. Landfill means normal dumping, or scientific landfill means they are scientifically protected so that environmentally there is no damage. But still there is like heap of garbage scientifically managed because I don't have processing capacity to manage or process my waste. If the size of city is bigger, then what will happen? Waste will be collected from my house. It will go to the secondary storage or it will go to the transfer station. What is the transfer station? Since the vehicle which comes to my house, the size of the vehicle is smaller, the vehicle will not go all the way to the processing facility or to all the way to the our landfill site. There is some point in the city, there are multiple transfer stations. The city, the size of the city is bigger in terms of like more than 10 lakh cities or more than 5 lakh cities. In that transfer station, I will offload my vehicle, the particular vehicle will offload the waste collected. If I'm saying offload the waste, I am expecting that my cities or me as citizen is giving the segregated waste. How it's helpful? If I am segregating the waste, dry and wet, to begin with, forget about the hazardous waste. Hazardous waste is also collected separately now. If I am giving my dry and wet waste separately and being collected separately and transported separately till the last point, that is giving the facility, that is helping my cities to take the dry waste to the MRF centers. MRF centers are material recovery facilities. This is where they will take out all the valuables, all the recyclables from the waste. I will stop here and will share the experience of Panji in 2005, right? In 2005, just the beginning of Swachh Bharat mission, I thought we have just started and cities are just coping with the new guidelines, but Panji was impressed me like anything. The commissioner drove me around the city. He took me around the slums. Nobody in the slum was aware that my commissioner is visiting my slum. He took me every door of the of this house in the slum, and there were two bins, one for dry, one for one for wet waste. I could see dry and wet waste were kept separately. He stopped one, this vendor in the beginning that normally called chaat wala, right? We generally see they gave us that something in paper plate. That chaat wala was using the steel, all the plates for their steel, so that he can clean the plates and everything and reuse the same. Again, the three R principle you're telling, right? Then he took me to his processing facilities. The moment I entered in, there was dry waste was there, because wet waste they were processing on site only. If I am residing in a society, in the society itself there is a wet waste processing facility, so that my wet waste, my kitchen waste is getting processed there only. Only dry waste is coming out. And what is happening with dry waste? Dry waste further got segregated there in next other 50 categories. 50 categories, like that day I came to know beer bottles have 3-4 different colors. They were red beer bottles, they were green beer bottles, they were white beer bottles, all segregated separately. There were medicines in a different container, there were clothes in different containers. Different type of waste were kept differently so that it can be recovered and used separately. That's how they were using the dry waste or recycling them. So that was not a waste, that was wealth for them. I will again stop here and take you another example of the Bastar in Chhattisgarh. There was news 2 years back in Bastar district of Chhattisgarh. 50,000 ka kooda chori ho gaya. That was real news. There was an FIR registered that 50,000 ka kooda chori ho gaya. Why? Because that kooda was purely segregated. The moment you segregate your waste, that becomes the resource. So in that Panji visit, I came to know how segregate can benefit the citizens. And if I come back to my place where I'm staying or where you are staying, then we see that we are struggling to segregate our waste. There are two reasons why we struggle. First of all, just simply saying, give us the segregated waste doesn't help. I need to be educated why segregated waste will help environmentally, right? At the same time, there's sort of some enforcement is required from my city administrator, how they can enforce it. Here, I will give you the example of Indore. Indore, you know, is the #1 city for last 4 years. I will come back to you what is that ranking, that is separate section I'm going to discuss with you. But how they manage the segregation of waste from across all cities, definitely they went out and they connected with citizens. They educated them about the segregation of benefits of segregation of waste. Then in few cases, like in a ward, if there are 200 houses, if 5 houses are still not giving the segregated waste, they followed 2 practices. First step was they will simply ignore that house and skip that house and go to the next house, because they refuse to collect the mixed waste. And they would only collect the waste from the houses which are giving segregated waste. Second step was they will collect the mixed waste, just dump in front of the gate only, then segregate there only, in front of their house, and then collect the dry separately and wet separately. This is how you kind of sort of, you can say it is a naming or shaming also, but sort of enforcement is required. See, you have to appeal first. You have to help them. eventually you have to penalize them if they don't, follow in line. This is the, so I was talking about a transfer station. So transfer station, what will happen? Waste collected, reached to the transfer station. From this transfer station, there are bigger vehicles are there. They will compact all the waste, dry waste through compactors and send to the MRF centers where they will segregate the waste in different categories so that it can be recovered well, the waste can be recycled better in a better way. And the wet waste will go to the processing site if city has a processing site. We will also see whether city has a sufficient capacity to process the waste of the entire city. We just can't, simply put the idea, give me the segregated waste, and I don't have the segregated. This was one example of Udaipur also. I didn't want to quote the example of Udaipur in terms of like calling the name of city. 3 years back, there was an example that they started collecting segregated waste because ministry asked them to collect the segregated waste. But what happened eventually? Since they didn't have the processing site, they would dump outside the skirts of the city. So as a citizen, I was giving them segregated waste, but eventually they're dumping and mixing them again because they didn't have the proper, processing facility. These are the so many challenges when we want waste to manage well. We would like to see the city must have the system in place in terms of collection of waste, then system in terms of transfer station, processing facilities so that waste is processed. If I'm segregating my waste well, then my dry waste is recycled, means no waste is left. My wet waste is processed, maybe in the form of compost, maybe biomethanation or any other energy. So where is the waste left eventually? Finally, there will be like 5 or 10% of the waste which we call inerts. These are the unprocessed waste which can't be processed. Such kind of waste is kept for the central landfill. So the simple rule over here is the moment a city starts segregating or citizens start segregating and cities have sufficient facility, there is no waste. My entire kitchen waste is getting processed. My dry waste is getting recycled and reused, and then whatever inert is there, sometimes they even used for the roads. I have example where a plastic which is not recycled. There's some plastic which can't be recycled, right? Such kind of such kind of plastic which is like non-recyclables can be used, are being used in the cement plants for the energy. At the same time, cities are also using for making the roads. It was found that if you use the plastic in making the roads in place of using that tar, that is saving about 50,000 rupees in 1 kilometer, and which is the durability of that road is better than the other road. Recently, we have started seeing that cities are making furniture of this plastic waste. We can see that cities have started using the dry waste or plastic waste. We call that magic brick because that was an award given by that name. Others, in few cities, they have started making paver blocks. You must have seen that in the parks, in the footpaths, there are different blocks are there. They are not as strong as stone, but they are used as blocks, different blocks. Those are made from recycled products. So this is just a glimpse of how waste can be managed well if you segregate the waste at the household level only. Citizens have started now using 3R principle beautifully. I live in Noida. I can see that a lot of places where they use the recycled material and made certain artifacts around the city. South Delhi, there is Waste to Wonder Park made out of waste only, right? You can see cities are using the waste for different purposes. In Surat city, I could see they use the steel in making the different artifacts in the city. But how was this possible? That is a different story. All of a sudden, that was not possible because 5 years back, when the toolkit, when the guideline of Swachh Bharat Mission was announced, 4,000, that time there were 4,041 cities were there. None of them could understand the guideline well because 4,000 cities was reading the guideline in 4,000 different ways. And we were supposed to achieve two targets. One is to achieve the ODF status in the country, in all the urban local bodies. And secondly, to make sure that we have processing plant in place and we start processing all the our solid waste in a scientific manner. So what was different? How differently we treated and how differently we approached to make sure that all the cities of India start behaving in a similar fashion. Yes, I admit that not all cities are behaving in a similar fashion, but yes, majority have started understanding the certain norms. What happened in 2015 when it was realized that we have announced the Swachh Bharat mission and we have such an ambitious target to achieve? Solid waste management, where we had very few cities with processing plants, and then achieving the ODF status. So I was given this task to design a framework whereby I could assess the cities or rank the cities based on the performance in their urban local bodies. So in 2015, I designed a format, keeping in view the performance expectation at the city level. All the indicators were designed from the taken from the guidelines launched by the ministry. I personally visited 3-4 cities at that point of time to understand whether the kind of indicators I am designing are those indicator practical. Like I used to visit the market areas, commercial areas, checking whether how shopkeepers are managing their waste, how street shop managing their waste, how a juice wala person is managing his waste. Do they have sufficient dustbin or just they are throwing in the corner of the market area? Then we realized that there must be bin system in the commercial areas. Then I used to go to all the public toilets. That time predominantly Sulabh Shauchalaya were there. I used to visit there whether there was a caretaker, what is the role of the caretaker, whether he's making sure all the toilet seats are clean. I used to go there and check whether seats are clean, whether there is a role which a caretaker can play. Then I also interacted with the commissioner of the city and the sanitary inspector of the cities that, sir, I have these indicators in my mind to assess the performance of the cities so that city can manage their solid waste and sanitation part well. This is how I design and finalize a toolkit or indicators of my performance of the cities. The name of the toolkit was given as Swachh Sarvekshan. I don't know if you have come across with a lot of publicity around Swachh Sarvekshan recently concluded. If you are in Noida, you must have seen so many, walls are painted with Swachh Sarvekshan. You must have seen lately so many flyovers have painted, so many underpass are painted. They are given different design, different shape. How all of a sudden you have started seeing that in Lodi Road area, the government colonies are colored with different art designs, modern arts. These are all part of these Swachh Sarvekshan indicators as part of beautification. So in 2015, when I was designing the first indicator, I launched the indicator. I reached out to cities, made them understand the indicator so that they prepare themselves better for the challenge. In the month of January 2016, the assessments, the Swachh Sarvekshan 2016 was conducted, and Mysuru and Chandigarh came out as number 1 and number 2 city. So people were telling what is new you have done, because all the way till now we were aware that Mysuru is the cleanest city in India and Chandigarh is among the cleanest cities in India. But the purpose of that, competition, the purpose of that design, the framework was to create a competition among the cities. Since it was first survection, it was first assessment, before it actually happened and result came out, no one could, understand the power of this assessment or power of this exercise. The day result was out, then there were cities who realized, oh, I missed my rank because of 5 marks. I wish I could have done better in that part. I wish I had door-to-door collection in place in all the wards of my city. I wish I had processing facility in my place. I wish I had, constructed all the toilets, all the individual toilets which are part of targets given to me by the government. All the public toilets as per targets given to me. They started now thinking about the competition in a different way. And after the result of first survection, there were few cities who started tracking this survection. But beauty of survection is every year we used to change indicators. Why? Because we can't ask the same question every time, right? Otherwise, our city will remain at the same level. We were supposed to achieve the ODS status. We were supposed to make sure that our all the cities of India achieve a certain benchmark in terms of solid waste management. We continue to improve or give the higher performance level to our cities till last year. And till date, I have designed and delivered 6 such correction. And currently, the first VC which I have just finished before joining this VC, I was discussing the indicator of my next survey, that is Swachh Survey 2022, which will be conducted next year. But we need to launch that toolkit, that framework in a couple of months' time. How this Swachh Survey exercise helped Ministry to manage the solid waste management or sanitation related challenges across India. In such solution, what is happened, there are indicators, questions against each component given to all the cities. Then we go out to all cities. Because of COVID, we could not go last year. It all happened virtually, like we are talking to you virtually. Otherwise, I wish I must have, given an opportunity. I would like to come and be in person with all of you. So we used to build the capacity of the cities also. That what you have to achieve, what you have to do to achieve the certain performance in certain indicators. We used to handle the cities. Otherwise, I have, in the first 10 minutes, I have given you the solution, segregation and processing of the waste will give you the solid waste management. But it's not so simple. In 4,372 cities, not all the cities are at the same level. Barring few 50 cities who are top ranked, rest of the city are now, I think lately we have about 100 plus cities which are now part of competition in terms of they are very aggressive. They are hitting, they are ticking all the boxes of the competition. But there are still so many cities which are still struggling. So how this selection, how this competition helped? This competition helped all the city to understand the indicators. All the city started understanding the situation, understanding the problem in the similar way, because we used to teach them, we used to build their capacity in a similar way. I'm teaching the capacity of the Indore, a Gonda city of the UP or Dhanbad in Jharkhand will have the same kind of understanding as a city of Panaji or city of Chandigarh. That's how together we could build the capacity of 4,372 cities. Today's subject of today's session is waste management, right? Waste management and to save the Mother Earth. But I am focusing more about approach part. Until we understand, pinpoint each and every issues, we won't be able to address the issues, because I have seen the challenges. I have seen the challenges where cities have struggled to collect the segregated waste from the cities. I have different best practices available from different cities who, adopted simple different approaches. Like in Dungarpur of Rajasthan, they used to paste the sticker of Chokhogar. Right? If the house has built a toilet, they will put a sticker Chokhogar. That means this ye ghar saaf hai. That's how they used to engage the citizens. They used to, in the school, give the lottery. If suppose your house is complying with all the conditions of the Swachh Bharat mission, you will be part of the lottery, and you will get cycle, you get different gifts. There were certain schools in Goa where children of the school were asked to segregate your waste. When you sharpen your pencil, when your toy is not, you're not playing the toy because it's defected. segregate that and bring that dry waste to in the school. So the children started segregating their waste. Their children were, handbooks are made in the schools and they write whether their parents segregate their waste or not. The children have become the, monitor of their parents. So in Chhattisgarh, there is full army of Swachhata Didi. Women are leading the sanitation or Swachhata in Chhattisgarh, and let me tell you, Chhattisgarh is the #1 state from last 3 years in Swachh Bharat mission. What are these Swachhata Didi? They in the morning will come out with a tricycle. They will collect the segregated waste in 4 different ways. Then they will bring all the waste in their, MRF centers. They will further segregate the collected waste in 150 different categories. See, the waste being collected from my house will be segregated in 150 different categories. That means that will no longer be the waste. That will become the resource for someone. And in Indore, what is happening now? Indore has achieved such a high level of segregation. Their citizen, if I am the citizen of Indore, if I'll give my waste to my vendor, he will pay me. Because he is using my waste to generate the energy in the city. He is managing my dry waste to recycle that and make money out of that. So I am also getting money if I'm giving the segregated waste. And Indore, each household has started segregating their waste in 6 different ways. Forget about the dry and wet alone. So how we track it? How we have achieved from that level, from even door-to-door collection was difficult, and till the place where as a citizen in one city, I'm getting paid by my waste collector. In city general, normally what happens, if someone is collecting the waste from my city, I have to pay something at the end of the month, maybe 100 rupees, 50 rupees, but he collects that money because he is collecting the waste from my house. But in Indore, I am being paid by giving the segregated waste because I am giving that person the raw material. But how we have achieved here? So let me tell you how we track the solid waste management part, how we ask cities and track them so that together in India, all the cities should start responding in the same fashion. So first and foremost part is we check how many cities in India have provided door-to-door collection of waste in their cities. I'll give you one tip. Go to any cities, if you find that there is a garbage dump lying somewhere in the colony, any residential area or commercial area, there is one proxy indicator. What is that? That proxy indicator that shows if any waste dump is lying or heap of dump is lying, or someone is throwing the waste in the corner of the park, that means that colony is not covered under door-to-door collection. People in the ministry are so smart now, just by visiting any city, they can diagnose the city. Why I'm saying this city is not covered under door-to-door collection? Because if door-to-door collection would be there, I would not have any waste to throw outside my house. If all shops are covered by door-to-door collection, there's no waste left to throw outside. If I can see that something is happening, some waste is there lying in the corner of the city, at the corner of the colony, that means either the waste or door-to-door collection is not there, or it's there but not regular. There are few cities which are providing door-to-door collection but not on daily basis. Similarly, when we talk about this issue, we came across with one issues in slums and maybe in hilly areas. There we can't ask our waste collector to drive the vehicle inside the narrow lanes. There, for those such areas, we have designed a different strategy. We have asked, we will cover them under a gate planning. So what will happen if suppose there are like 50 households, 30 households, They are like wall-to-wall construction is there. Lanes are narrow. No one can go inside to collect the waste. There will be two bins will be outside their colony. They are expected to put their dry and wet waste in that common bins, so that in the next day morning the vehicle will come and collect that bin and collect the waste from those two bins. Same solution is also there for apartments. Like, I'm not talking about the high societies where it is expected that they have to manage their waste. There you will find that there builder apartments where 5 to 6 floors are there, and there are about 30 or 40 houses are there, or maybe 10, 15 houses are there. Even for such residential places, we have asked them to they should put a bin or at the at the entry of the building, or at the somewhere around the building, so that each household can come down and put their waste inside those bin in dry and wet separately. Because we can't expect the waste collector will go on each floor and collect the waste. Then you may ask another question in your mind. There are so many multi-story high-rise buildings in India, right? How are we dealing with that? Because if I'm asking that we can't collect the waste floor to floor, we can't go each house in a high-rise building. So for that, there is a rule in Solid Waste Management 2016 that all the waste generators, like the society, as a hotel, boarding schools, where more than 100 kg waste is generated in a single day. Let me repeat. If in any place more than 100 kg waste is generated on a single day, that particular unit, that particular school, boarding school, that particular hotel, that particular society or apartment falls under the bulk waste generator. We call it BWG. So, as per the law, they are expected to manage their waste. How they are managing? In the societies, they have going for the committee posting. They have put machines over there. Even in few cities have helped them to buy the machine in a very subsidized way. In all such situations, cities means municipal corporation is not expected to collect the waste from bulk waste generators. All bulk waste generators are expected to manage their wet waste. Dry waste they can definitely collect. All bulk waste generators in the cities are expected to manage their wet waste by themselves. Here's the role of a citizen, right? As a citizen, I should know if I am living in the multi-story apartment, I'm living in a society, then I am a qualified bulk waste generator. Then I should see whether my society has that arrangement in place. Are we managing our wet waste ourselves? Or are we still, asking someone to come and collect our waste? Because if we are doing that, that means we are not following the guidelines. That's how so many bulk waste generators manage their waste. But this is only applicable for cities with more than 1 lakh population. If you are a city with less than 1 lakh population, then in that case, your urban local body can collect your waste, wet waste, because that is a revenue generation for them, for the urban local bodies. Unless they collect the waste from such bulk waste generators, they will lose a very high revenue stream from the city. I can give you the example of Panchgani. Panchgani, about 3 years back, was the #1 city in less than 1 lakh population. There are two examples to quote over there. First of all, I'll give you the how city manage the waste in that area. So this is how you enforce your ideas for cleaning the cities. The moment I entered, I was driving from Pune to Panchgani. Panchgani is about 2 hours drive from Pune. The moment I entered the boundary of the Panchgani, there were few young guys stopped our car and welcomed us. कि भारत की सबसे #1 सिटी में आपका स्वागत है. They gave us one cloth bag and asked us to give us 500 rupees. Why this 500 rupees? They told us, आप इस शहर में आए हैं एज ए टूरिस्ट, आपका स्वागत है. आप जितने दिन इस शहर में रहेंगे इस बैग को अपने पास रखिए. आप जितना भी वेस्ट जनरेट करेंगे इस बैग के अंदर डालिए, जितना ड्राई वेस्ट करेंगे जनरेट इस बैग में डालिए। जब आप वापस लौटेंगे शहर से, इसी बॉर्डर पे जहाँ पे उनका एंट्री पॉइंट है, वी विल बी हियर, गिव दिस बैग टू अस full of dry waste and take a 500 back. This is how they are trying to discipline their visitors, their tourists, so that I should not throw my dry waste somewhere, because city is bin free. If I am calling a city bin free, that means there is no secondary storage in the cities. There are small litter bins are there because litter bins are required. This is how they are educated their citizens. Second point, in Panchgani, the half of the population is a student of the boarding school, and their revenue is coming from those boarding school only. That's why we allowed all the city with less than 1 lakh population, let them collect the waste from their bulk waste generators, so that they can charge the commercial rate from them and generate the revenue, because they have to sustain their operations. This is the collection part I was discussing till now. This is very important in waste management. The moment I am able to collect the waste from each household, that means I have collected all the waste from my city. Now, next point is what? I have to take...
Sir, if you allow, Sir, if you allow, there are a few questions. Our students are quite inquisitive to know. So can they ask questions, if you allow? Okay, Sharmishta, I'll just unmute you and you can ask question. I'll just...
A very good evening, sir. My question to you is, other than our traditional waste that we have in our regular house waste that we call, so we generate electronic waste as well at large scale these days. So what are your suggestions, and in what is the right way of disposing of such waste in a very constructive manner, so that it can be recycled and put it in a better use for future, rather than disposing of in our regular bins?
First of all, yes, good question. I was expecting such question. Yes, good you asked. First of all, in municipal solid waste management, as per the law, electronic waste and biomedical waste are not collected by the urban local bodies. Electrical waste is collected by separately, because different ministries caters to electronics, and biomedical waste is hospitals have different arrangement with the biomedical waste processors. Yes, we do collect biomedical waste from the households, like syringes, sanitary pads, or any other diapers, or any other medicines, all tube lights, your shampoo, the bottles, or such can be. That's part of our we call that hazardous waste. Under that we collect. Yes, your question is about the electronic waste. I think ideally we first explore the opportunity under 3R. We were also thinking in Swachh Bharat Mission Urban, and we are also proposing under 3R. I used to see in my till about 10-15 years back, we used to have a lot of repair shops outside around our areas. Now we are in the habit of use and throw. Can we reuse that article? Can we reuse that whatever equipment you have that's not working? Try to see, can we use that material in different shape for different purpose? That not only will give the longer life to the waste, that will no longer be the waste, that we can become any art item in your house. I have gone to the places, I have seen places where people have used their waste as like something they can use in drawing room. You see in Noida, they have started, not why Noida, so many cities they have started using such waste, and they are making, yes, one good example is in Bhopal. In Bhopal, they have give the name of this 3R is Kabar Se Jugaad, right? And they have made a huge radio out of waste, and you can see, you can hear out in the red light, FM is running in that radio. There are now multiple, organizations are in, operations. there are a lot of new organizations have set up by the young people. They are collecting such waste and making, giving them new lease of life. Here your creativity will come. First answer to your question is, don't consider that as a waste. See, can you add light to that waste? In 3R, the why 3R principle is there. Idea of 3R principle is that we have reduced the waste. I should stop considering this waste as waste. Let me give give this waste a new life by using it different way. Use the creativity.
So true, sir. I think our students need to, and we all need to change our perspective and think that, it is not a waste. And
it's not waste.
So
City has come out with such a small, innovative, because we also have innovation as an indicator and performance indicator. If I give some of the example, okay, let me give some example. In Indore, only 2 years back, there is one organization of it's a Muslim, different sects in Muslim. There was like zero waste event. For 3 days, almost 1 lakh attendees attended that function. Zero waste came out of the venue. There was a cricket match happened in Indore. Zero waste came out of the venue. So we have to change our approach towards the waste. People have now started adopting home composting like anything. Because they can use their compost for their plants. Right. If not as a household, they're going for the community composting. For about 5-6 houses together, they are processing their wet waste. The wet waste is not coming out from the house. Dry waste has a value. I know, kawadi wala paise deke jata aapko. All the newspaper, all the plastics, recyclables. So where is the waste?
Sir, for us, hearing these examples itself are very surprising. Actually, that how a cricket match without generation of no waste. We have one more question, sir, by Aryan. He wanted to ask one question. Aryan?
Like I was reading it yesterday, ma'am, that, and to sir also, that waste is not a waste until you waste it.
Yeah.
So this holds true to what all the examples sir has been sharing.
If you are part of NSS, you must be interacting with a lot of people out there, right? Start understanding how they operate in life. Like, if you see the city profile also, even waste profile city to city different. Waste profile of a metropolitan cities and waste profile of city less than 25,000 population will be different. You will find dry waste will be much higher, will be consumed much large volume in bigger cities than the cities with less than 25,000 population, where wet waste will be higher. See the different profile of waste also, because we are into consumerism. Now as government is coming out with a rule, like we are like living in the age of Amazon, Zomato, Flipkart, with a lot of fancy boxes with no use. Waste, right?
Yeah, that all packaging is all a waste because we just throw it away and it creates a lot of waste, and because so many people are using nowadays.
Please come out with a policy where all such e-commerce company must engage an organization. The moment a product is delivered to me, the very next day, someone will come to collect the packet, so that can be recycled immediately.
Sir, it was my experience that during the lockdown last year, we ordered something from Amazon, and it was written that you can even order for some kind of recycled form of a waste. Although we did click that, but still we received the same kind of card box, which has to be, they did not provide us in that manner. And then we later on came to know by some of our friends that that is only applicable in foreign countries.
It will come here soon also. We were cruising very nicely till COVID happened last year. Since last year, even all city had adopted zero plastic, plastic-less cutleries. We used to have cutleries which you can eat. A bowl, you eat food, then eat the bowl also. You must have realized that in the aeroplanes, there like wooden cutleries were there. The different organizations have started adopting the plastic-less cutleries. But because of COVID, we could see that that the momentum has broken. But yes, we
Sir,
are there. Belief is there. We will continue with our, there we are looking for in our, a competition like what we have also asked citizens to come out with, to throw a challenge to your citizens. You will get marks. So in this first survection, it's not only about the waste collection. That survection also engage citizens. In the upcoming
sorry
survey,
to
yeah, please.
sorry, sir. One of the student is quite inquisitive to ask you questions. Arin. Yes.
Good evening, sir. My question is, if the same level of development is going on with the waste management, so how much year will it take for in same speed? How much year will it take for India to be clean and hygienic properly without even further doing anything?
Yes. So now cities, government have started, started looking at things holistically. Last week only, not last week, 2 days back only, there was an agreement with the German organization GIZ by the Ministry of Government of India, where they are going to support about 6 to 7 marine states which are like in coastal area of the country, like Andaman Nicobar, Kochi, Kanpur. So that marine waste could be, we can address the issues of marine waste. How we can stop going to the oceans or rivers. We are piloting that with 7 cities. Definitely, we should go for, now we are also coming up with products which are plastic, but which are more recyclable. Because earlier you used to get plastic with less than 50 micron, which are non-recyclable and would take about more than 100 years to decompose. Yes, cities are moving ahead. We are now getting, black poly bags which can be processed. You will see there are like, especially some stickers are there that, decomposable plastic, something like that. So even innovations are happening around the plastics. Eventually, together we want to save the planet. At the same time, we can't do away with the plastic, right? So we have to take a path where we are not, compromising with the environment. At the same time, it's like economically viable as well.
Sir, I have also a question. It's very interesting to know about it. Sir, I wanted to, like, being faculty, like being teachers in a college, how we can play a role in, better waste management by creating awareness, and how we can create that awareness. Like, you have been dealing into so different countries, cities, and so much. So you are knowing the ways and means that how citizens' participation can be increased. So how we can make our students ambassadors to motivate citizens or people around their society, what they should do for that.
Secondly, that first of all, we have to start it begins at home. We have to start from our where we live, right? In our family only. We all have to begin there, because it looks like, yes, we keep preaching, we ask people to do it. Are we doing that?
Right.
We have to lead by example. See, our joint secretary, Mr. Jindal, who was there till last year with us, now he's got promoted, gone to the other ministry. He himself was composting managing their wet waste at his house.
Okay. Sir, if we want to learn that how to do it, then
very simple.
From where we can?
It takes 20 to 5 days to become compost, a wet waste to become the compost. There are so many videos available. There's so many now. Amazon, you can ask for the composting kits. Okay. Ask your city administrator; they will help you. In cities, they are providing free kits, and even big societies. I told you that in Noida, I'll give the example of Noida. They are providing 80%, subsidy for big composting machines, so that all society could manage their wet waste.
So we can promote our students to create this awareness to or do it at their home when they are in lockdown period. Like they can.
It's very simple. Segregate it. Problem is over. The moment we segregate our waste well, dry waste, will become the nutrition will become like nutritional plants by composting. Even being bigger city, they are making gas out of it. In Indore, there are about more than 50 buses running out of waste of the city. I was meeting the commissioner of Indore. I told, why don't you write on all the buses, this bus is being run by the waste of the city. Because they are such a beautiful, segregator, the citizens of Indore, they're making gas out of it. And from that gas, they're running the bus. I challenge you, go to Indore, take house in a rent, and don't behave like a Indorian and behave like a Derite or
Okay.
They will realize in it, they will come to know it, very next moment that you're not from Indore. Why Indore is so strict? If I drop a polythene or any waste in front of any shop, the shopkeeper will hound at me. He will shout at me. Bhai sahab, aap Indore ke nahi ho shayad. Why he is shouting at me? Because if any waste is found outside the shop, the shopkeeper will be challan by the municipal commissioner.
So because of this, only Indore must be coming in the first list of cleanest city.
Much ahead. Indore is much ahead because they are like mad people. And you get the result from Mendes, out of Mendes only. See, the brilliant people, all are mad.
Okay.
And you have to fearless like a child. Think, innovate, and attempt the things. You will not realize they have big nalas. Till 6 months back, now they are having wrestling championship, badminton championship, and cricket matches on those nalas because all the nalas are dry. Because all the waste is now shifted to the treatment plant, wastewater. Indore also had a legacy waste, big mountain. They removed that mountain in 6 months. Now that mountain has become the beautiful garden where young couples are going for the pre-wedding shoots. See the transformation.
Right. So actually the transformation has to take place first in the minds and then your surroundings actually.
So when we struggle, we struggle how we manage our waste. Waste management is such a simple issue. Only thing is how we practice. Unless we practice something, we will not be able to achieve the results. One more important point is I call our citizens as a demand and my city administrator as supply, my municipal corporation. Generally, market is demand driven. Unfortunately, in India, this segment is not demand driven. Our citizens are very, neutral. You go and collect the waste from the house, they're okay. You don't go there, the house collect the waste, they're still okay because they will throw somewhere out. There should be citizens who should be after the city, municipal commissioner of the city, that why this vehicle is not here today, why your vehicle didn't come to collect the waste. But generally, that demand is missing. The moment our citizens become demand driven, we start asking for better services from our municipal commissioner. The day we have that kind of citizens active available in the city, you will see everything will get changed. The only problem is being citizens. I am happy being where I am at the moment. There are so many interventions. There are so many apps available like Swachhata app. Do you know there is Swachhata app? How many of you know there is a Swachhata app? If you click and you see any waste lying in the open area, toilets not functioning, click the picture, post the picture will go to the immediate where it will be geotagged picture. It will go to the commissioner's office, and the commissioner's office, the person in charge will see from which toilet this picture is coming, and he's supposed to clean, rectify the whatever problem is there in next 24 hours. Do you know there is a Google toilet locator? You can search the public toilet from Google. Search Axiom toilet, you will see list of toilets coming in your Google map. Are we using that? Citizens have to be. We all are very tech savvy, but we are not. We have also become tech savvy. We means all municipal commissioners have also become tech savvy. They have provided you so many solutions. Try and use them.
Government has been providing and extending and doing so much things, but many times citizens themselves remain unaware. Now you have told us this is really, I think now all my students are also knowing that we have this app, and they can do this way, like they can take a picture and then upload it and then can at least get the place cleaned.
The time has gone. We have to just complain. No, ये सरकार तो कुछ करती नहीं है. सरकार कर रही है, but we are सरकार है कितना आगे पहुंच गई है.
Right, right, true, sir. Government has been doing so much, and I feel there is more of a requirement from citizen initiation also.
Yes.
Many times, I also see around my society and everywhere, the citizens do not want to, extend themselves or expand themselves to initiate for something. So this is wonderful, sir. You have told us so many things, and
Let me
so.
also give you a Ujjain example
Yes,
as a
sir.
best practice. In Ujjain,
Yes, sir.
Ujjain got one innovation and best practice award 2 years back. Yes, 2 years back. Badhai se safai. So Ujjain engaged all transgenders.
Oh, okay.
They used to clap whenever the vehicle will come. All the residents giving the segregated waste, they will dance in front of the houses. And they will give them badhai for giving the segregated waste.
Oh, wonderful.
There's so many things happening around.
Sir, you have been knowing so many best practices of Indian cities. We will definitely be in touch with you so that you can tell us something so that we can also promote in our areas around us and develop such kind of some kind of practice which can make us, really feel satisfied that yes, we are contributing to the society.
Yes, for a citizen, I would say segregation and 3R. That will take you like any places. Like problem is over. The moment you started following segregation and 3R, problem is done. You're done with the problem.
Sir, we have taken a lot of your time and a lot of questions poured to you so that we can satisfy our thirst to know more and more. I would say thank you so much, sir, for taking out time from your hectic schedule to tell us more about it. And I'm sure my students will definitely be inspired to adopt and practice some of the things what you have told, and at least a change in the perspective of the thinking that how we need to do it. And it is actually that is also very surprising to know that dry waste is wealth of how much rupees, thousands of rupees. Yes, so much. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving us time. Thank you so much for our students. We are also thankful to our vice chairman, sir, and to our DG, sir, director, sir. Although director, sir, really wanted to be in this session, but due to some paucity of time, he could not himself be there. But he has conveyed his greetings, and thank you for being here with us, sir.
Thank you very much. I hope it was useful. And if you have any query, any question, I would be happy to help you out.
Okay, students, if you have any questions, you can write down in the chat box. I don't think so, sir. Any student is having any question. They no, sir, they don't have. They have just like thanking feeling is there that you have been the one who has actually told them about waste management and how it can be on from very minimum platforms it can be done. Every person, every citizen, every person can contribute on their own level. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. And definitely in future, if we want to know something, we have some queries that how we should proceed ahead with this handful of students for social service, then definitely we'll take advice and guidance from you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you all students. Thank you Anuja. Thank you Shanu Jain for organizing this. Students, your attendance form has already been circulated, and thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all students.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks to you also, ma'am, for coordinating and bringing this with us. So,
thank you so much.